How's it going, guys? It's your boy Mike from Seattle. I'm here with Dion Talk Financial Freedom and my friend Justin Nelson from Kentucky. He's got 18 units in Kentucky, Hardin County. He's got four fourplexes and one duplex. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk to him about his experience and how he built to where he's at. So real quick, right off the rip, Justin, what year did you get started investing in real estate?
2021. So actually not even that long, like just 2 years.
Yeah, so it's November of 2023. Somehow he's gotten 18 units in like a 2.5 year time frame. So we're gonna talk a little bit about how he acquired them. So why don't we start with your very first rental property? How did you get your very first one?
To be honest, like my very first one, I think it was the hardest, but probably the best deal. Ended up looking on MLS, and I feel like as an investor, like the more you do, the more you can kind of see where the better deals are. But MLS was like top search, so just kept looking, and based on some of the running the numbers, I found one finally that cash flowed and actually makes sense, and ended up purchasing that in April of 2021. And then all the rents were below market, so I had to end up raising them, and over time it ended up cash flowing great.
Okay.
One of the complaints that we hear often now is a lot of people, especially closer to your age, say that there's no way you can start now. Prices are too high, interest rates are too high. The only way that you can start in real estate is if your parents buy it for you. How did you come up with the money for your down payment for that first property?
So first, before I answer that, my background, I guess, is kind of similar to Mike's here. Like personally, I came from like a really poor family. Just to be honest, like we even lived in a car when I was a child. There's been times like my parents and me didn't even have food to eat. So like I did not get handed any type of money whatsoever. Pretty much ended up working 2 to 3 jobs to get through college. I don't think college is the key either.
Wait a minute, how many degrees do you got though, Justin?
I got 5 degrees. But I mean, looking back, like to be honest, there's plenty of jobs out there that if you're really motivated to like change your life, like you can do it. It doesn't matter like degrees, anything like that. Like if you're motivated enough, you will find a way. But basically what I did personally, I ended up working 2 jobs, and I was very, very like fruitful, I guess. I didn't go out to eat, never went out to anywhere basically. I just worked, come home, sleep, work, come home, sleep for pretty much a whole year, and just finally saved up enough money to end up paying off some student debt. I put a little bit of money in the stock market, made some returns, cashed out, and ended up buying my first rental with that.
Okay, tell us about that first rental.
So the first rental, a lot of the rents was about $700 to $725. They actually had it listed on MLS for $395, and a lot of people told me, like, I had an agent that I was working with at the time, and she said, if you're going to come in under market, like I'm not, or under really far under the value that they're asking, I'm not even going to mess with you. So I ended up finding another agent, and I bid at $300,000. So it was super low. I didn't think I'd honestly get it, but I was just trying to get money in my pocket basically. And
how many days was it on the market before you made the offer?
That was 128. So
okay.
It's been on the market for quite a while. But go ahead. Sorry.
So I'm sorry. So if you have an agent and you're looking at a property that's been on the market for 128 days, and that agent says, I'm not going to make an offer lower than what they're asking, you need to find a new agent. Yeah. So good job. Good. That's the right call.
So they actually didn't even counter. They ended up just saying, hey, just do a better offer. So I came back and I said, what about $335? And they ended up accepting it. They ended up giving me money back in repairs. So it ended up being close to, I think it was about $5,000 back in repairs. And they decided to fix it rather than give me the actual cash on that one. But they did help pay closing costs, so which saved me a little bit of cash. It was like $2,000, and then I paid the other, I think it was like $6,000 rough estimate. And after I got the property, ended up gradually, like, I replaced some of the flooring downstairs, gradually increased rents, went back to the bank and basically kind of did the model that these two guys do, used some of the equity to end up purchasing another property.
Well, that's the model that I use. That's not necessarily the model that Dion uses. But I want a follow-up question. So you use the equity to buy another property, and that's where I think people are going to be very interested, because when somebody hears that you got your first rental in April of 2021, it's been 2.5 years, you somehow managed to get up to 18 units in such a short time frame. And a lot of people are curious as to how 27-year-old guy manages to build a portfolio that big that quickly, especially at a time when interest rates were so low and competition in the market was crazy. So how exactly did you scale then from 2 to where you're at now with 18 so fast?
So the first one, the first and second one I purchased was just all saved money. Like, I just completely saved everything that I had.
Saved the down payments, right?
Correct.
So you use loans to buy it.
Correct.
Okay.
So I saved the down payment up. The first one I put 20% down, which I wish I would have stuck 25% and locked the rate forever, because it was 3.75% interest rate, but it's another story. And then I ended up purchasing the second one. So the first one I purchased April 2021. The second one was February of 2022. And I actually got myself in a situation on that one because I was seeing a lot of, like, different people say use debt to buy it. I didn't really understand at the time all the private money and different type money that you could use. And so I just thought I could go to the bank, get a line of credit, buy something in my personal name, and the bank would have no problems with it. So I ended up having a friend, like, loan me, because the bank wouldn't accept the debt from the bank to pay the bank as a down payment. So I ended up having a friend loan me like $15,000, and then I used the debt from the bank to purchase my duplex. So that was the last amount of money that I needed to get the duplex.
So what he did was he had a friend gift him the money.
Yeah, gift me the money.
And then once he closed on the deal, he gave his friend the money back.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So
that's legal. Maybe. Continue.
So then on my second and third fourplex, which was August of 2022 and September of 2022, the original fourplex that I got reappraised with the new market rents, and I originally bought it at $335,000. They appraised it for $422,000. So I just cashed that money out. I had money saved from the cash flow from that property, and then also working the 2 jobs. So between doing that as well as the equity, I was able to get 2 more fourplexes. One of them I put, I think it was 15% down. The other one was 20%. And market rents on those were super low, because that's usually what I target, is everything with market rents low. Mm-hmm. And
meaning that the current rents are lower than what the market rents would be, right?
Correct. Okay. And then pretty much over time, I gradually raise them up to the market. So then, fast forward into this year, August 2023, I ended up finding another fourplex. Same type results. Market rents are low. And on my duplex, I had equity of about $42,000. So I just got a business line of credit, and I used that to purchase my duplex.
So when it comes to scaling a portfolio, you really have 2 kind of paths. One is to recycle capital, the way that both of these guys are doing, or the way to recycle cash flow like I did, which is much slower. Tends to sometimes have a bigger cash flow in the beginning, but after 10 years or so, your guys' cash flow will be much larger than mine. Portfolios will be much larger. So you're using a strategy I haven't used, but you have done this while pulling off something that neither Mike and I has been able to do. How are you investing in real estate while you have a kid and a spouse? We've had the kids. Neither one of us could keep the spouse around for very long. How'd you get your spouse on board with investing in real estate and taking on risk and all of the extra work?
Well, to be honest, I think she just got tired of looking at properties. She said, "Do whatever you want."
So you just wore her down.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I like it.
So like in the beginning, I probably looked at like probably 22 properties like in person before I even pulled the trigger on one. I was just so nervous. I guess the biggest thing is nothing's ever going to be 100% perfect. So like as long as you're willing to like try it, just pull the trigger and try it, because it's going to turn out good, especially in real estate. As long as you don't, you make sure you run your numbers and stuff like that, it always ends up turning out good eventually. But it's she got to a point where she literally just told me, if it makes money, just go.
So I agree, nothing's ever going to be perfect. Don't let the pursuit of perfection pause your progress. The last question I'd like to wrap up with, and then Mike, you can have it finish it here, is what's the next 5 years look like for you?
So I think next 5 years, currently right now I got 2 off-market fourplexes. I'm probably going to use a business line of credit on the current fourplexes I got. I just got one appraised, and they said that it had, so my original purchase price was $275,000, and they appraised it at $360,000. I have 3 identical fourplexes, so that tells me that I should have a ton of equity between all of them, because I bought it at $275,000, $278,000, $300,000. So I was going to use that equity to purchase another 2 fourplexes, and potentially looking at building maybe a storage unit facility. In the end, my overall goal is pretty much 8 units a year for 10 years from the start, so total 80 units, and it's kind of my plan.
So he's going to put me to shame. Just another young buck like Cody and Christian, just here to make me feel bad about myself. Appreciate that, buddy. And what's even worse, you know how Justin and I know each other? For those of you who've watched my channel for a while, I had a very successful gaming YouTube channel for a little-known phone game called King of Avalon. And Justin, as a young man, followed me on that channel. And when I decided to start making a real estate channel, he followed me there. And so we have been virtual friends for years. And he finally flew out to Seattle to meet up with me, meet up with Dion, some of the other investors we got out here. That just goes to show you how powerful virtual networking is. You can develop actual lifelong relationships and get good advice from people that you meet through a freaking video game, bro. The piece of advice that I would give for you, and I've already given it to you multiple times over your trip here, but I'll say it for the people watching the video. He has a lot of very, very good connections in terms of people who have private money that they want to lend. And so what I've been challenging him to do is to figure out how to partner with people that trust him and like him and see what he's been doing, how to partner with them to grow his business. They want to do real estate deals, but they want to rely on his experience. So you've got to be creative enough to figure a way to bring the two of you guys together in holy matrimony. Make it work with one spouse, make it work with some business spouses. And we'll see what you do next. Guys, I really appreciate you for watching. If you want to get a hold of Justin, I'll put his Instagram down below. Thanks for being here. And Dion, thanks for being here.
Ciao.